The idea is to win as many games as possible to help your team win.
I'm better than my brother Alex.
You're not better, my friend.
We find ourselves in the position of running an intergenerational program.
The one they're planning for today is terrible. You have to have 2 brains for that. But it keeps you.
Humpty Doo is a small rural community that's approximately 45 minutes outside of Darwin in the Northern Territory. Humpty Doo does get mentioned for being a little bit of a quirky place.
We really need to get serious again today. We've got seniors versus students, of course. What else would it be?
The board games provide a really good vehicle for creating opportunities for that connection to happen.
I'm used to the old board games mainly. Squatter was my favourite, and I doubt anyone's heard of it these days.
Let's say, for example, Monopoly. Definitely breaks families apart. Everyone has the experiences, like one Christmas or one summer night. Sometimes we play together.
Yeah, most of the time.
Sometimes it can get annoying, like, oh, you stole my spot, bro.
Oh, I love games. I mean, I'm like everybody else. I want to win.
Who's winning at the moment?
No, I thought it was Angela.
Oh, yes,
Yeah, at the moment. Yeah.
So it makes it for a non-confrontational way for people to connect. This way, the focus is actually on the game.
Oh, you can jump with the queen.
No, you can't jump over pieces like this, but you can go diagonally.
Right. Okay.
Anywhere in Australia, but especially up here in the Territory, families are very separated. So there may be children or teenagers growing up with very little, if any, connection with the grandparents or any senior citizens at all.
Once every couple years, maybe.
We've been up here 7 years and I've only seen him about 3 times.
One of my great regrets is that our family broke up and my wife looked after the children, brought them up, and I had very little to do with them as teenagers, and it's something I really miss. And I've had very little contact with teenagers since then.
I think the loneliness is compounded by not having those easy connections to family.
Because their kids are interstate, and then you sort of, when you get to a certain age, you're on your own, and it's too far for your children to come. You don't want them to come all the time because they have their own life. You do miss them. And then sometimes I think, maybe I should go back to Adelaide. It's really, sorry, getting a bit too personal.
Dreadful, yes. They don't see their families for years. Ready? Yeah. Name 3 festivals.
So this has provided an opportunity for students to spend time with the seniors and find that any of their preconceptions about maybe being boring or just wanting to read the paper or not being interested in any fun has been blown right out the window.
I think the stereotype's kind of they're old and grumpy, or they're a bit annoyed with younger teens, but they're all sweet and good to get to know.
When you talk to seniors, they've got some real amazing stories that no one other than them would have, heard or lived through. I was expecting a lot slower pace when it came to them, but Barb knocked that out of the park. She was up and at 'em with everything.
I like your rings. Yeah, and especially this one here. Beautiful. That's Nordic mythology, is it?
Yes, exactly.
We are seeing some very unlikely friendships.
I walked in, said hi, she got a smile on my face, I got a smile on mine.
They quite enjoy each other's company and find each other very, very cheeky.
I couldn't get that with a stranger.
His comments are that he likes her best because she tries to cheat.
Try not to roll a 7 this time.
She rolled 7.
She has a wonderful vibe. She makes games fun to play. We have a great time playing games.
But I also want to touch on how much of an advantage it is in the other direction.
I feel like it changes both perceptions of both sides. So they might see us as little delinquent kids, and they're learning that maybe we're not, and we're getting connections with them and learning about them that we wouldn't have got before.
If you're watching the news, you'd get all the bad side of what it's like to be a teenager in Darwin, and they make this assumption. And then when they actually interact with teenagers, the assumptions aren't always right.
Yeah, there's definitely, we've definitely got some points of connection for like human race as a whole. Like we've all got like, you know, something in common.
There's a lot of kids here that have different sorts of family setups. They don't have full like mothers and fathers sometimes or grandparents around.
So it is really wonderful for some of those teenagers to actually know that somebody is there to listen to them and be there for them.
Everyone should know how people are feeling most of the time, and that's a good thing because then they can help each other out if needed.
It's nice that they trust you. Yes, it's nice when people trust you and tell you things.
We do see a lot of confidence growing there, and we do see pushing the boundaries for the seniors.
I've got a stress disorder. It makes it very difficult for me to meet strangers. It took a long time to break that down. Now, having sort of got integrated, it's beautiful.
I got to develop a connection with seniors that I wouldn't have got before, and I got to learn a bit more about them and I guess just how they are that I wouldn't have got before.
We are just a small rural community library, and I genuinely believe if we can do it, then anyone can. Let's bring on more ageless friendships.